You are now entering the Ville. Proceed with caution.
Well. We meet at last. I think that you thought I was never going to find you, but I did. All this time I didn't know who I was looking for, but I was looking for you. I'd say Happy Thanksgiving, but we both know that would be a lie.
Chip, you are aware that turkeys don't speak English, aren't you, Chip? You know that, right? That just because you were like the dog catcher don't make you Dr. Doolittle.
I'm sorry, Lance, but there's things about the animal population that you don't want to know.
You know, Chip, as much as you love critters, if when you decide to take one out, well, let me just say, I'd sure hate to be the one caught in your crosshairs.
Lance, if you're going to kill a thing, you better kill it dead.
That why you're wearing a grenade belt, Chip?
Truth be told, Lance, when I woke this morning, I didn't feel like changing out of what I slept in. Hand me them magnums, will you?
Why, Chip, you're a regular John Rambo.
Oh, shucks, Lance. Rambo never used no magnums. I'm just your average recreational hunter. Hand me that grenade launcher. Ain't nothing to launch grenades with like a grenade launcher, Lance.
Yeah. So, Chip, I was thinking, you sure you gotta have Thanksgiving with your sister? Because my wife would be mighty sad not to have you around our place, and so will the kids. You know, they love to hear the story of how you got back to Shard or Destiny from old Seven Arms and made things right with Uncle Abe.
That was an octopus fight for the ages, Lance. Third worst I've been in. I'll miss you and your kin, but, well, Erica ain't invited me for Thanksgiving since I got out of the Marines. We don't see much of each other.
She is quite the woman these days, your sister.
She always was a bit high-strung, Lance. I ain't claiming otherwise, but she's got a heart of gold, and that's the truth.
Well, when's the last time you saw that heart, Chip?
I don't know, Lance. It's been a while, I guess. Maybe she's softening up again. She was mighty civil to me at Paul's funeral, and she said we ought to get the remaining McGregorys together for Thanksgiving. I think it all affected her a lot more than she thought it would. I wish we could just make it a big McGregory Rose Bloom Red for dinner.
Well, now, Chip, you know Erica don't exactly worship the ground I walk on.
I know she was mean to you when we was kids.
Well, yeah, but that was just cousin stuff, Chip. Since then, things have... Oh, never mind.
I think I know what you mean, Lance. When I came back from the Marines, Erica was married to that Rose Bloom fella, and she had young Ricky, and I don't know, before, we was pretty close. But now something was just different. Never could figure out what. I always wished I could.
Well, I wouldn't know anything about that, Chip.
Well, I didn't say you did, Lance.
Well, I don't, Chip, so I don't know anything, so don't ask.
Lance is something... Hold that thought. What was we talking about, Lance?
Oh, nothing, Chip. Hey, I've never seen anyone take out a turkey with a hatchet before.
Tricky is to think like a turkey, Lance.
Well, what was that turkey thinking?
Probably... Oh no, a hatchet's going in my skull.
It was a cold Thanksgiving morning, but all was warm in the Rose Bloom house. Well, cock-a-doodle-doo, what a morning, what a morning. Rose Bloom, old boy, you've won life's lottery again. And who is this angel in the kitchen? Could it be the daughter I'm most thankful for? Happy Thanksgiving, my little cranberry.
Happy Thanksgiving, Daddy.
What's this? My daughter looks up from her electronic device to wish me holiday salutations. Indeed, this day is a cornucopia of blessings.
I was looking how long to bake this stupid pie for.
Is that
It's just a dumb apple pie. No saffron, no nutmeg, no graham cracker crumble. Whatever, I'm putting it in the back of the fridge till it's time to bake it. Don't tell Mom.
Well, your mother does have particular thoughts on pies and such, Ricky Bear, but hey, I love just pie. It's my favorite kind. Don't tell your mother.
Don't tell me what?
Nothing. And who is this Thanksgiving goddess that just walked into the kitchen? Good morning, darling, light of my life.
Don't touch me. You'll get flour on your robe, and that'll ruin my Instagram stories.
Well, shouldn't I change out of my robe before starring in any stories?
Having a slovenly husband in the background of my Thanksgiving Day stories is a really nice, naturalistic touch.
Righty right. Of course, one could argue that a little flower on my robe would also add a naturalistic touch, like a happy husband who had kissed his wife good morning on Thanksgiving, maybe got a little flower on him.
Oh, honey, I said slovenly, not slobbish. Besides, those touches take hours to get right. You'll just have to be like a happy husband who held off kissing his wife until Instagram was updated.
Because if there's one thing we're thankful for, it's our followers.
Well, of course, your mother is, honey. When will you ever learn, Ricky Bear? When will you ever learn?
What have you been working on this morning?
Nothing. Never mind.
I need your help in the kitchen, Ricky.
So I can be the slovenly daughter on your Instagram feed?
Don't be silly, dear. We'll put my new hand-stitched turkey print apron over that adorable Fortnite t-shirt, and no one will have a clue how slovenly you can really look.
Turkey print. Cute. When did you make that?
You can accomplish so much with your day when you make a habit of setting your alarm for before 1 p.m.
You know I've been working hard at the church for Stu.
And that's wonderful until you find a real job, honey.
I am a mite peckish, I must admit. I think before the photographs, I'd really sort of like to have my regular holiday breakfast.
In that case, honey, the Budweiser's in the garage.
Well, now, honey, I wouldn't have a beer at 8:49 in the morning, even on a holiday, my little turducken.
I'll just need your and Ricky's help watching Chad, staging a few candids for Insta. Oh, and I do have 1 or 2 other teeny projects we need to accomplish before Thanksgiving dinner.
On second thought, maybe I'll have that beer. Wouldn't you know it? I dropped all the beer. Looks like I'll have to run out right now for some more beer. After all, what's a Rosebloom family gathering without beer?
Ooh, a slightly more sober codependent nightmare?
Honey, that was a 24-pack. You managed to break every one?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe Ricky drank some last night. Ricky, have you been sneaking beers?
Sure, yeah, whatever.
Aren't you still underage or something? Bad girl. Anyway, I better go to the store to get some more beer.
And I better go with you. Yeah, so you can give me a stern talking to.
Yes, right. Yes. Gotta rethink that drink, Ricky Bear. When will you ever learn?
Ricky, here's your apron.
Oh, well, honey, Ricky needs some time with her dad to get her head on straight. You know what a stern yet loving disciplinarian I am.
Yes, I do, Matt. Well, if you both must go to the store, there are a couple items I still need.
Another couple bottles of wine.
Yes, of course, my prized turkey. Whoa, is this a grocery list or a Russian novel? If I didn't know any better, I'd say you were punishing us for going to the store.
Sweetie, you know you wear the pants.
Yeah, Dad, you can do whatever of Mom's chores you want.
Ricky, what's it going to take for you to be my happy little helper today?
I'm thinking maybe a lobotomy?
Honey, then you'd sit around all day staring at your phone or the TV. So I'm not sure what the difference would be.
Alrighty, right. Well, Ricky and I are hitting the store.
Instagram will wait for a little while.
Wonderful, honey. I was hoping you would say that. Well, off we go.
Now, just one moment. Let me think if there's anything else I need before you go.
Warm up the car, sweetie. I'll put on some pants. Run!
Yes, Daddy.
It's funny, but I used to find the girl on the Sun-Maid raisin box rather attractive.
Oh, what happened, dearest?
I met you.
Even prettier than a raisin box, eh?
Oh, you're prettier than the Sun-Maid farm girl and the Land O'Lakes Indian squaw put together.
Then good thing I'm married to the brawny paper towels man.
That reminds me, I haven't kissed you for a while.
Oh, Brandon, there are people watching.
Then I'd better show them just how thankful I am for you.
Darling! Slow your Romeo long enough to let me pick out the cranberries. Or didn't you want any food at our Thanksgiving feast this afternoon?
So you are to my thoughts as food to life.
Or as sweet seasoned showers to the ground.
I love it when you quote Shakespeare, Mon Amour.
Is that Matt and Ricky Rosebloom?
Yeah, it is. Can't begin to think why they'd want out of the house today.
Oh, can you imagine it? Well, we'd better be friendly, dear.
You're right, of course. Matt, Ricky.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Chastain, happy Turkey Day to you. Gooble, gooble.
Did you just mispronounce gobble?
Hello, Ricky.
Sup, Mrs. Chastain?
Mrs. Chastain?
That's an awful lot of wine in your cart, Matt.
That's an awful lot of cranberries in your cart, Brandon.
Oh, well, Anna's cranberry sauce is the best in town.
Well, I'm sure you and your guests could be forgiven for that opinion. Best in town. But you've never tried my wife's cranberry saucy sauce.
Yeah, I'm sure it's delicious.
Anyway, I forgot the cranberries yesterday.
And I find every moment she's out of my sight to be pure agony.
I know what you mean, bub. Me and the wife exactly the same. Couldn't tear us apart with a crowbar. Yes, sir. Why, sometimes I feel like I couldn't get away if I tried. Isn't that right, Ricky Bear?
Daddy, I have a headache. Can we go?
Of course, Ricky Bear, of course. But you gotta buck up, sweetums. Her mother likes to stuff the day full, no pun intended. Yes, sir, if this day was a turkey, it'd be totally stuffed. I guess really the pun was intended. What do you know about that?
Very witty, Matt. What are you doing today?
Oh, a bit of this, some of that, smidgen of the other thing. Always on the go, Ricky's mother, a motivated woman. And today it's gotta be perfect because we're having a man of the cloth for turkey dinner.
Oh, are you converting to Rome?
No, I'm talking about our youth pastor, Pastor Stewart. Of course you know Stu.
Yes, we've had some interactions with Pastor Stu.
Then you know what a prince of a man he is. You know, I've gone to the youth group just to hear him preach. Me, an elder at the church, for Pete's sake.
He's very persuasive.
Well, you may have heard that Ricky's been interning for him. They're thick as thieves, those two, thick as thieves. Our whole family loves Pastor Stu, but none more so than Ricky.
Daddy, I have a headache. Can we go?
Yes. Last time we saw her, Ricky made her feelings on the subject very clear.
Come on, honey. The Roseblooms have things to do, and we do too.
Brandon, Anna, a pleasure as always. As always, cock-a-doodle-doo.
Ricky,
Yeah?
we were very sorry when you stopped coming around.
Yeah, okay. Well, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, Ricky. Matt, come on, love, let's go.
This is all wrong, cock-a-doodle darn it, Stafford, you idiot. Man. Ricky Bear, I gotta say it, I think my best Thanksgiving was watching Sanders dazzle the world with a 40-yard touchdown run against the Bears. You should have seen it. He juked, he stopped, he started again, he stopped, 10, 20, 30, 40, to the house! Old boy put up 167 yards and 3 touchdowns that day. And I watched it all with my newborn little girl in one hand and a Budweiser in the other.
Mom let you get away with that?
Well, Ricky Bear, people do change. Even your mother. Come on, Stafford, come on.
Are you angry at the football players, Daddy?
What? No, Chatty, not in the least.
Oh, here you all are, hiding from me in the study.
What you drinking there, honey?
Grape juice.
Well, yeah, I mean, I get it. Nothing to see here, officer. Well, it's a holiday, and anyway, we weren't hiding, honey lamb.
No, we were cowering in plain sight.
There's my clever girl. Why don't you come put your cleverness to work in the kitchen?
It takes a lot of cleverness to peel 10 pounds of organic yams.
I'll be sure to give you some Xbox breaks, dear, so you don't overtax your brain. And Matt, I need you to bring in some firewood, specifically the ash with the vanilla scenting. And Chad, I need you to go somewhere where you won't be underfoot.
China?
That's fine, dear.
I'm the king of China. 其实把脚带怪兽.
Well, we all know who that is. Yes, sir, everyone's favorite person in Sanityville.
Would you get that, honey?
I don't know if I can, Mom. These yams won't peel themselves.
Get the door.
Well, hi, Ricky.
Hey, Uncle Chip, what are you doing here?
Your mom invited me for Thanksgiving. Something tells me we're having turkey.
What gave you that impression?
You ever heard of this thing called context clues, Ricky? Kind of like regular clues, only in a particular context and such like.
I may have heard something about them.
Well, I'm real good at putting clues together and figuring things out. Like one time my cousin Lance, he had this awful bite on his arm, and when he told me the thing that bit him had been barking at him, I knew straight away what it was.
Oh, yeah?
A seal.
Chip, what are you doing here?
Hi, sis. I'm here for Thanksgiving, like you said, after Pa's funeral.
Chip, it had been a long day. I'd had some wine. Usually I don't drink except on holidays, but...
Well, I don't blame you, sis. Pa died.
Well, death is a part of life, as they say.
Sure, but Ricky, Erica, Sis, are you saying you didn't mean to invite me over to your house for the first time in the 20 years since I first left home? That you in fact intend for our relationship to remain the same state it's been since then? That it was in fact an accident of wine and circumstance that led you to reach out to the brother that you love or used to love so much?
No, of course not.
Good, because I was going to be sad.
Come in, Chip. Take off your, denim thing and let Ricky put it in the... Are those turkey guts hanging out of the pocket?
Oh, sorry about that. I meant to offer them to you for the feast.
Chip, this is a Rose Bloom Thanksgiving, not a McGregory Thanksgiving. And those are as different as apples and Ebola.
Well, why can't it be both? You know, like an Ebola-filled apple.
Some things just don't go together, Chip.
Well, shucks, Erica. Turkey guts is just a little McGregory detail.
Details are very important to me, Chip. Just like the hint of almond extract in my world-famous pumpkin chiffon pie.
Well, you got me there. The details is where the devil lives, and no mistake.
We don't speak of the devil in this household, Chip.
We'd be afraid he might appear.
Ah, well, we all know who that is. Get it, will you, honey?
Greetings, friend.
Get in here, Stuart. I need you to carve the turkey. I believe Matthias has snuck back to his football. Husbands.
Hello, Ricky.
Hi, Stu.
This was not the first time that young Ricky had met Pastor Stu. In fact, they had been seeing rather a lot of each other lately, and just yesterday they'd been having a conversation. A conversation with ramifications that would echo through Thanksgiving Day, like the ringing of a bell from the mother of all nightmares.
This is so seriously stupid. Don't make me do this.
It'll be a nice gesture, Ricky.
You don't know my mom.
Oh, I've served on enough committees with her. Actually, Ricky, when you think about it, this will be one of the only pies she doesn't have her fingers in.
Hardy har har. I can't even do this. Why am I doing this? I don't bake.
Surely your mother taught you when you were a girl.
That's like asking if Hitler taught his kids how to rule Germany.
I'm not sure Hitler had any children, Ricky.
He had a love child with Martha Stewart, and her name? Erica Rosebloom.
Oh, your mother isn't as bad as all that. Just make the pie. It means something to at least one person. Me.
Let's stay in tomorrow. Let's just get Chinese or something. Seriously.
Ricky, and miss Thanksgiving with your family. Perish the thought.
What if we just did something else?
Like what?
I don't know. Netflix? Something? Anything?
Ricky, I want you to have a happy Thanksgiving.
Then let's do anything but go to my family's.
But Ricky, why?
I don't know. Because my dad will be day drinking and remembering how much he hates his life. My mom will also be day drinking, only she'll be pretending like she isn't. She never does. It's not like she's been going through 3 or 4 bottles a week since Grandpa died. It's not like she'll go through a whole bottle on Thanksgiving before we even get to the meal, because she's perfect. Everybody's perfect except for me, because I need to get a real job or go to college or do something with my life.
Your services are so valuable at the church, and to me. Besides, you're not the only one in your mother's crosshairs. She's been after me about the playground in the new children's wing.
Let's just tell them, okay?
What?
Let's just tell them about us.
Ricky, we've talked about this.
I know.
I'm a little older, and you're a little younger. And I'm a pastor, and people get funny ideas.
Well, let's not tell people. Let's just tell them.
Do you think your parents will understand, Ricky?
I don't know. Maybe.
Do you think anyone understands, except me?
No, I guess not. No, I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry, Ricky. Family get-togethers aren't always easy.
It's just, at that table, it's gonna be so freaking phony. I just wish we didn't have to bring our own phoniness, you know?
We're not the phony ones, Ricky. You know that. You and I have always been real with each other, haven't we?
I guess so.
I do care, you know, and I try to understand. I only wish... Oh, I don't know.
What?
I try to be real. I try to understand. I try to care. But you don't let me all the time, do you? Do you, Ricky?
Of course I do. I'm sorry, okay?
You don't have anything to be sorry for, Ricky.
Sometimes I think I'm just as phony as they are.
What about me? Am I as phony as them?
Stu, of course not.
The pie looks like it'll be delicious.
After 3 hours in your stupid kitchen, it better be.
Ricky,
Yeah?
we see things like they are. You know that. So don't think of me as another dysfunctional piece of the family get-together puzzle. Think of me as an ally. As a friend.
Is that what you are, my ally?
Oh, Ricky, let me count the ways. Anyway, I'm sure your mother will love the pie.
She better.
The pie is absolutely darling, honey. It's absolutely darling.
Glad you approve. I'm just gonna put it in the oven now so it can be done after dinner.
Daddy says Pastor Stu is almost done carving the bird.
Yes, honey. We'll be there in a second. Look at that. You got it to look just like the Pillsbury box it came out of.
I made this from scratch.
Of course, dear. But usually when people say from scratch, they mean they made the crust themselves.
Which I did.
Well then, how long did that take you, honey?
I don't know, a couple of hours. What?
Nothing, dear. It's just that resumes don't write themselves.
Mom!
Pastor Stu says the bird is almost ready. This bird smells delectable. Absolutely delectable, Erica.
Thank you. I made the glaze from a mixture of sage and...
Apple brine, isn't it? And the apples, well, I would have taken you for a Braeburn lady, and the subtle tartness of a Braeburn would do this dish proud, but you've gone with something a trifle sweeter. Fuji.
Stuart, you're an olfactory genius.
Heck of a nose on this fella.
Well, Erica, man, I've always had a good nose for the things I like.
You're a man of taste, Pastor Stewart, a man of real taste, so rare these days.
Pass your plates, everyone. Here you go, Ricky and Erica. Sweets for the sweet.
Thanks, Stu.
Hi again, everybody. Meal smells great, Erica.
You could learn a thing or two from it, Chip. Have you been smoking?
Don't worry, I put the butts in the ashtray.
Ashtray? What ashtray?
You know, Erica, the weird little basin full of sugar water, the one all them birds kept feeding from.
Chip, did it ever occur to you that might be something besides an ashtray?
I can't imagine what.
Uncle Chip has brain problems.
Ain't nice to talk that way to your elders,
I
young
can
fella.
discipline my own children, Chip. The correct phrase is mental deficiencies, dear. Chip, are you sure you want to sit there?
Yeah, Erica. Ain't like you had it charted out beforehand.
You say you're her brother, Chip.
I kind of like it here. Feels right, somehow. Sitting between old Ricky and Pastor Stu.
You can call me Stu, Mr. McGregory.
Why would I do that if your name's Pastor Stu?
You wouldn't, but it's not.
Not what?
Sue.
Sue who?
Sue me.
Why would I sue you?
No, I meant my name is Sue.
Your name is Sue.
No, it's Stu.
Why do I keep calling you Pastor Stu?
That's my point.
What's your point?
I'm not sure anymore.
That's okay, Pastor Stu. I'm sure it'll come back to you.
Chip, you... Never mind.
And ta-da! The turkey is carved.
Now it's time for you to do your husbandly duty, dear.
What? Sure, of course. Well, everyone, of course, this is our first Thanksgiving without Grandpa Abe, and that's different.
It's very different, yes, but let's pray.
Of course, I used to see him on Thanksgiving when y'all were done with him, and he would stop on by Lance's in the evening. Seeing as y'all didn't usually invite me to your shindig during the day.
Yes, well, let's pray.
He was a kindly sort of fellow later in his life, and he liked to tell the old stories. And he was a man that hated an octopus, that's for sure.
Amen.
Chad, honey, that's not the prayer. But let's pray, shall we, darling?
Pastor Stu, would you pray for us?
Of course, Matthias, of course. Shall we hold hands? Dear Lord, dearest Heavenly Father, we thank you for the many, many blessings you have lavished upon us. We confess that we are unworthy of the least of these, and we ask your forgiveness for our weaknesses, for our derelictions of duty or responsibility, for our impudence and rebellion against those you have put over us, for the lusts of our eyes and lusts of our flesh, and all the ways we've given ourselves unto the boastful pride of life. We thank you that you have not dealt with us as we deserve. We thank you for food and for friends. We thank you for family and for the family of saints that is the church. We thank you for how you use these institutions to protect us, Father, from want, from ignorance, from Evil. We thank you for all these things. In the name of our precious Savior. Amen.
Amen.
Many men.
Amen. Ricky, were you going to say amen?
Amen.
It's not important, Mr. McGregory. I know what's in Ricky's heart.
You can call me Chip, Susan. And that was a plumb good prayer.
Braised collard greens with organic red onions, anyone?
Yes, please, Erica. And is that brown sugar and freshly extracted vanilla over the yam casserole?
You'll never want marshmallows again.
Eat your heart out, Martha Stewart.
Mom will prepare it for you, sautéed in a white wine and vegetable broth.
Oh, honey. White wine with heart?
Well, nobody ever said I was a gourmet chef.
And yet you thought it was a good idea to make a really cute pie, sweetie.
Say, him. You really put it away for such a skinny fella, Pastor Stu.
Now, Chip, if I'm not mistaken, I haven't seen you in church for nigh on 20 years, or weren't you a regular attender at that time, if I may be so bold?
You got a better memory than I do, Pastor Stu. Of course, I guess there were other things on my mind round about that time. These days, well, I'd like to be there, no mistake. But back 20 years ago, I was in love with a pretty little gal. And there was a bit of a scuffle with an octopus, and, well, you can probably guess the rest.
Collard greens, anyone? Or the creamed corn with assorted peppercorns?
I want some colored greens.
Let's do the thing that starts with a Q, honey.
Be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
You were saying, Chip?
Well, Reverend, suffice to say, when I went away, folks assumed some right bad things about me. I guess it made sense.
Not all of us, Chip. Anyway, on a slightly different note.
Pass the rolls, please, por favor.
Anyway, when I got back, they hadn't unassumed them.
Unassumed what, Uncle
The
Chip?
nasty thing.
I have one of those.
A nasty thing?
A roll.
Erica's rolls are hardly nasty things, Matthias.
Honey.
Well, sweetie lamb, I wasn't saying.
Anyway,
that-
Pastor Stu, I hope you won't take offense at this, but turned out I wasn't as welcome in church as I used to be. Guess it wasn't the place for an old sinner like me.
Let's talk about something less unsavory, shall we?
Sure thing, sis. Say, Ricky, what exactly is it you do for Pastor Stu anyway?
You know, Uncle Chip.
No, I don't. That's why I asked.
Make copies, get coffee. It's pretty simple, actually.
Good practice for the real job we're hoping she finds sometime in the next several, decades.
Real cool, Mom.
Well, Ricky, there must be something more to the job than that.
Ricky has many, shall we say, responsibilities. She performs them all splendidly.
Well, how about a for instance?
If I told you, I'd have to kill you, as they say.
Well, this twice smoked ham with the bourbon peach glaze is to die for, honey. Gooble gooble. And the chive and bacon potatoes. Yummy.
It's all absolutely divine, Erica, down to the napkins.
Hand sewn from fabric prints I designed myself.
You're an artist, Mrs. Rosebloom, and no mistake.
That explains her temperament.
Ricky, is that any way to talk about your mother?
I'm sorry, Stuart. I guess you know Ricky has a lively tongue.
I find many of her generation do.
Somebody pass the butter, please, and thank you in advance.
My peas are drowning in gravy. Die, peas, die.
It's time to do the thing that starts with a Q, darling.
Be quiet.
That's right,
Make
hon.
no mistake, Erica. You are an artist.
My peas are still drowning. Ah!
Be the thing that starts with a Q, Chad. And thank you, Stu.
And there's a reason it's a cliche to say an artist is temperamental. The act of creation is a volatile thing. One could almost say there's no creation without collateral damage.
By that standard, Mom is the most creative housewife in America.
Very clever, darling. You ought to see the pies I created today. All from scratch. None from a box.
Drowning, drowning, drowning.
Saw a camel drown once. If you think about it, ain't no more ironic death for a camel than drowning.
You see what I had to put up with, Stuart. My daughter doesn't appreciate the effort, the sacrifice that it takes to be a mother.
Few artists are appreciated in their time, Erica.
You'd think maybe a camel hump would float, but of course it's full of water. So down, down the camel goes.
What else have you seen drown, Uncle
It's
Chip?
time to be the thing that starts with a Q, Chad. Matt, tell Chad to be the thing that starts with a Q.
I will just as soon as I get the butter, my little sweet pea.
I wouldn't consider myself to be an artist, Pastor Stu. Just a humble craftswoman.
That's why your crafts are so humble.
Well, at least I have a vocation, sweetie. It's time for you to consider getting one of those.
I know I could never bring half the energy to mine that you bring to yours.
No, you'd have to get off the couch first, darling.
Ladies, perhaps it's time to pursue a different line of inquiry.
Why don't you settle this, Stuart? Don't you think it's time for Ricky to look for a real job? Or better yet, go to
But
school.
I'm like so blessed to live in this home.
Oh, how'd you figure that out, sweetie?
Maybe because you'll never stop telling me.
Matt, say something.
Pass the butter?
Say something to Ricky.
What do you want me to do, sweetie? Send her to her room? When will you ever learn, Ricky Bear? When will you ever learn?
Looks like you will have to settle this, Stuart, since my husband finds himself incapable.
I just wish I was capable of getting some butter.
Go on and settle it, Stu.
Well, what exactly am I settling?
I just wonder how my daughter would feel if I denigrated her life's work.
Because you would never denigrate my life's work.
No, dear. I'm glad you caught all those Pokemons.
Could I just get the,
Settle it, Stuart! Settle it, Stuart!
What was it you wanted there, Matthias?
Let's be the thing that starts with a Q, Chad, honey.
Well, Erica, one of my first counseling situations was very like this.
Here's the honey, Matthias.
I wanted the butter.
But Erica said honey.
Well, hard as it is to believe, Chip, what Erica says and what I want may not always be 100% simpatico.
What's that,
Well,
dear?
honey, I
The
meant...
point I was trying to get at, Erica, is that a girl's adult relationship with her mother can be a difficult thing to define. Of course, Ricky means well.
I mean,
What did
well,
you just say, Matt?
I said I wanted the butter.
Stu, I mean well.
Well, you do, Ricky, don't
Yeah,
you?
I mean well. So did the people who cloned dinosaurs.
Somebody cloned dinosaurs.
in the movie, Uncle Chip.
They clone dinosaurs, and the first thing they think about is making a movie. Well, them's the times we live in.
Matt, darling, what did you mean by what you just said?
What I was trying to say, Erica, and Ricky, if you'll permit me to explain, Ricky means well, and
I just wanted the butter.
So did the Nazis.
The Nazis wanted butter.
Daddy's a butter
Be the thing that starts with a Q, Chad.
Stu.
Yes, Ricky.
Never
Let's
mind.
talk about something else, shall we? Darling, what shall we talk about?
I don't know, maybe let's play Guess the Dairy Product that Nat wants passed to him?
Let's see. Hash browns.
Yeah, Chip, it's hash browns. My favorite dairy product that I like to spread on my rolls. Hash browns.
Hash browns, drowns.
The thing that starts with a Q, Chad.
Speaking of hash browns, these here potato things sure smell scrumptious. Smells just like dinners with Pa when we was kids.
Light up 9 or 10 more of those cigarettes and we'll be there exactly.
Oh, come on, Ricky.
I'm Ricky.
So was she back in the day.
She was?
Oh, I can tell you all kinds of stories about
Speaking
your
of
mom.
cigarettes, why don't you go and smoke one, Chip? There's a whole world out there that needs cancer.
And a whole world inside here. A world of one man on a lonely quest for
I
butter.
knew an alligator once that smoked cigars. Didn't care about the health detriments.
I'm not
neither.
feeling well. I need some air.
Smoke cigars when I'm old enough to be an alligator.
Chad, dear, I've said this is the time to be the thing that starts with a Q. Stu, I wanted to discuss the new children's wing with you. That playground our committee came up with.
It's simply wonderful, Erica. A lovely, lovely design.
Why, thank you. But now, if you think it's simply wonderful, why hasn't the youth committee approved it? The children's wing committee has been waiting 2.5 weeks to hear back.
There's been so much to consider, Erica. The classroom space, the furnishing.
Yes, indeed. All the things we recommended and submitted a detailed budget for in our official laminated report.
Yes, quite. All of those things in your laminated report. Lamination, by the way, a little creased. Not your best work.
Please, Judith Jenkinson did the lamination. From the looks of it, during an earthquake.
That explains it. My point is, we on the youth committee are simply not sure that a 2,000 square foot indoor playground will really serve the needs of all the families.
Well, whatever the youth committee decides, it will report that to the discipleship committee, which I just happen to be a member of.
Which, of course, reports directly to the Board of Elders, which I just happen to be a member of, and which is sadly bereft of your voice, comprised as it is only of men.
One of whom is my
The
husband.
same husband who wants the butter. Yes, sirree.
One of whom is your husband, yes, who always brings such interesting ideas. Come to think of it, it's almost as though you were present at our meetings after all.
Matt has always had wonderful ideas.
Always, after talking to his wonderful wife.
Oh, Stuart, Erica's always been my inspiration. Haven't you, honey?
Among the pastors, we call that inspiration the Erica factor.
I call it the Stockholm Syndrome.
I want to go down the 3-story slide.
You will, sweetie, you will.
You taking him somewhere, Erica?
Why, to the new children's wing, Stu, as soon as it's finished.
Erica, maybe this isn't the time or place to talk about a new indoor playground. I'm afraid the tryptophan is affecting my mental ability.
Whenever the tryptophan is affecting my mental abilities, I just remember that there isn't a scientific basis for that even happening.
Why, how interesting, Chip. Tell us more.
Well, sure, Erica. I'd love to elucidate you. See, they disproved the turkey tryptophan Thanksgiving slumber hypothesis years ago. Now, when I eat turkey, I feel more awake.
When I eat turkey, I feel like a dinosaur. Why, what a darling child.
Chad, you put that turkey down this instant and use your knife and fork like a civilized dinosaur. And be the thing with a Q.
I'm a civilized dinosaur. Stab, stab, stab.
And I'm a civilized talking husband with no
Say,
butter.
Erica, what's this about a 3-story slide?
I really wish that...
Everyone, hush. There's someone among us who wants something and we've been callously ignoring him. It may not seem like much, but perhaps it's time we do our Christian duty and give him what he wants.
Well, thank you, Stu. You know, I sort of kind of thought nobody would ever really...
Chad, I give you my undivided attention.
Who's a what's now?
I think it's so important that we pay attention, Matthias, even to the smallest among us. Now, what would you like to talk about, Chad? Are you doing well in school?
I got a B on my geography exam.
And Mommy said she forgave you for that a long time ago, didn't she, sweetie?
I'm gonna get some air.
Ricky, is something wrong?
You tell me, Stu.
I have an idea. Why don't we go around the table and all say what we're thankful for?
You know what? I'm gonna go get another beer. Then I'll have one out of the 2 things that I want.
Darling, another beer?
You're right, honey bun. It's not like anyone else at this table is drinking anything, and when you're right, and you're absolutely righty right. So, you know what? Let's just open another bottle of wine, why don't we? And then maybe we can have dessert.
I'm gonna take a walk.
That one of them funny cigarettes?
How'd you sneak up like that, Uncle Chip?
I've picked up a trick or two in my time, young Ricky. That camel I mentioned earlier, let's just say he was a bad camel. And let's just say his drowning was no accident. Anyway, that one of them funny cigarettes?
I never said I was a Marlboro woman.
Here, put that out.
Do I have to?
Sure do. You don't want to mess with that stuff. Makes you dumb. Better to stick with something safe and healthy, like a regular cigarette. That's better. I figured I'd find you out here. My body's got to take a break once in a while.
Why eat turkey when you can eat each other's souls, right?
Well, ain't so bad. You take your mother.
You take her.
She ain't so bad.
Compared to what, Count Dracula?
Now, that comparison don't work for all kinds of reasons, and you know it. First of all, the Count Draculas I've ever seen were fellas, even if most of them do seem a little fruity. Never trust a fella in a cape who's not Superman. That's what I say.
Fair point.
Second, you don't know your ma like I do. I ain't blind. I could see she's a bit of a tough nut as a mother, but she couldn't do no wrong as a sister. Couldn't do no wrong.
So what happened?
I don't know, little Ricky. I don't know a lot of things. Wish I did. Wish she'd tell me. Wish a lot of things, but it's like old Stone is always telling me. Chip, you ignoramus, you're standing on my foot.
Words to live by.
Sorry, niece. Anybody ever tell you I'm on a lot of medication?
I do know the legends.
Say, about this Susan.
That's not his name.
Sorry, Pastor Stu. Do you know him well?
In some ways, better than anybody.
Oh?
Yeah.
Well, has he ever given you the willies? The shivers? The heebie-jeebies? The whim-whams?
The what?
The screaming meanies. I don't know, take that prayer, for example.
What about it?
I don't know, it was just perfect.
What's wrong with that?
Well, I don't know, but it made me go cold.
Now, Uncle Chip, you sure you haven't been smoking any funny cigarettes?
It sounds strange, I know, but I just can't shake it. It all puts me in mind of, well,
Of what?
Of a camel. A malevolent, intelligent camel. Was it genetically enhanced? Perhaps we'll never know, but we do know this. It's moving in on its victim, and then all at once, whammo! Going in for the kill! No, you beast, you'll drown us both! Die!
Uncle Chip, how many camels do you know like that?
Now, 0.
You're Superman.
I just do my part, that's all. Say, Ricky, anything you want to tell me about Pastor Stu? Or anything at all?
What do you mean?
I don't know, Ricky. I don't know much of anything, really. I always was an ignoramus, but you can tell old Chip if you got something to tell.
No, I don't. There's nothing to tell. Stu's a good guy, Uncle Chip.
Well, I expect you're right. Him being a pastor and all.
I think maybe you're not seeing him at his best. Mom and Dad are getting to him. But he really gets people and cares about people a lot.
Well, okay then. Okay. It's getting cold. We better get inside.
Alrighty, right. Cock-a-doodle-doo, this is what this feast was needing. More wine. Pastor Stu, you in?
I never drink wine.
What?
I'll stick with beer.
Ricky Bear, I guess you're old enough.
I am depressed enough.
Well, there you go. What did I say? Chip?
Well, Matt, I got this here flask of something that'll really put some hair on your chest.
What is it, moonshine?
Nope, Rogaine.
Oh, that's nice. Would you like some wine?
Sure.
And for you, my prize yam, or have you had enough?
I'll take another glass.
Yes, well, of course, and why shouldn't you? Well, now everybody has wine that wants it, and if anyone was keeping track of Buttergate 2018, it still has not been achieved. Now, some of you may be wondering, why don't I just walk over and get the butter myself? Well, at this point, it's almost become a social experiment to see if anyone's actually paying attention to the words coming out of my...
Let's all say what we're thankful for.
Right. Right. But first, even though I'm still working on my role, who wants pie? What do we got here, sweetie?
Well, let's see. We have Jamaican spiced pumpkin, bourbon sweet potato, and key lime.
And apple.
Wouldn't you know it, honey? I left that one in the oven while you were outside. I hope it didn't burn.
It didn't, because I turned the oven off before I left. I'll go get it.
You do that, dear.
I am so looking forward to these pies. And I'm so looking forward to saying what we're thankful for. I think that's such a splendid idea. We have so much to be thankful for, every one of us around this table. After all, we are but humble vessels for the blessings of the Almighty.
Well said, Pastor Stu.
Almost like a humble vessel used for containing butter.
And what is it you're thankful for, darling?
Well, my strapping son, of course.
Hi, Daddy.
Cue word, darling. Quiet as the mouse, okay?
I'm being as quiet as a mouse caught in a trap and clinging to life with its guts spilling out.
Here's the apple pie if anyone wants apple. Stu?
Yes, I'll take a piece.
And I will too, sweetie.
You want a piece, Mom?
I want to see what my little girl's been up to. Was there anything else you were thankful for, dear?
What? Yeah, sure, money for food products, like, for example, butter, and of course my lovely wife and my sweet, lovely daughter.
Do you have another daughter you're not telling us about, dear?
And another wife?
No, gumdrop, I'm talking about you guys. Surprising as it might be, you're the metaphorical butter on my roll, as opposed to the actual butter on my roll, which is heretofore lacking in existence.
Well, perhaps it's time for me to say what I'm thankful for. But first, a bite of this apple pie.
I'm thankful for you, Stuart.
Yes, Stuart, we're both so thankful for you. Everything you've invested in, Ricky Bear.
We're sure it'll pay off somewhere down the line.
Well, yeah, I mean, it already has. I mean, look at her. She's high on life.
Among other things.
Right now, I'm high on all the love.
We're a loving family, Pastor Stu.
So we tell ourselves.
Hey, maybe now is a good time for me to say what I'm thankful for.
Let me guess. You found a new possum.
3 this year alone. But that's not what I was going to say.
What were you going to say then, Chip? Elucidate us.
Okay, I'm gonna. What I'm most thankful for today is my big sister, Erica.
Is that so?
Ain't nobody like you, sis. I don't guess it's worth rehashing old stories, but Erica was always there for me when I needed her most. Ain't that right, Erica? America? Erica?
Yeah, Chip. That's right.
Got another letter from Chip today. Guess that camel won't be a problem no more.
That's real nice, Lance.
I just think you should write him, that's all.
Not gonna happen, Lance.
Well, all I'm saying is, it's not your fault. It's gonna be all...
Don't touch me. I don't need him. I don't need you.
Erica.
Leave me alone. I'll fix it. I always fix everything for everybody. I'll fix this too.
You should tell Chip he loves you.
Sure he does, Lance. That's why he was here for me when I needed him most. Just like you. Just like everybody.
Erica.
Leave me alone.
Erica, everything all right?
Yeah, everything okay there, honey bear?
Yes, of course. Here's to you, Chip. Here's to the people who are there for us when we need them most.
I'll toast to that. Perhaps now is the time for me to say what I'm thankful for?
No, Stu, you know what? I'll go next.
Well, of course, Ricky, of course.
First, did you try your pie, Mom?
Well, no, honey, not yet. I'll take a bite right now. But tell us what you're thankful for.
Well, I'm thankful for a lot of things.
Why is that, honey? Did Fortnite release some new skins?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Go on, Ricky. What were you really going to say?
Well, I'm thankful for the good people in my life, the people who get it, the people who don't judge or manipulate or demean, or drink too much, or hide behind a phony facade of niceness, the people who actually care, the people who actually listen.
Oh, my baby girl's made some new friends.
What?
Well, I know you can't be talking about the old ones. The pie is wonderful, honey. Well, if you want my professional opinion, as a homemaker, it is a touch dry. But it's hard to know how long to leave those Pillsbury things in the oven. Perhaps, if my girl cared enough to listen to me, I could teach her how to make one from scratch.
Is Ricky angry?
Chad, I've told you, it's time to start being the thing that starts with a Q.
And maybe you should stop being the thing that starts with a B, Mom.
What's that, dear? Beseeching the brat? To hold her tongue long enough for us to enjoy a couple hours as a family?
Oh, is that what we were doing?
Matthias.
What's that, honey?
The B word? Really? You're going to stand for that?
What B word is that, honey? Butter?
Butter! I'm a butter Nazi!
Shut up, Chad!
Everyone, perhaps it's time for me to say what I'm thankful for.
Go ahead, Stu.
Well, Ricky, I'm so thankful to spend time with the family where every member has something to contribute. To address the elephant in the room, all the pies are delicious, and I really see no need.
But little Ricky's is better, even if I do wish she'd be a little more respectful to her mother.
What?
You could be a little nicer yourself, sis, and maybe don't drink so much. That goes for you too, Matthias. And Susan, I think you're just kind of weird.
You have no idea, Chip. But come on, everyone. Let's be friends, shall we? It's Thanksgiving. Let's be charitable to each other. Let's act like Christians. There's no need to air all our dirty laundry.
Chip wore his.
Erica and Ricky, you should really apologize to each other.
Very well. I apologize, sweetie. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
Good. Now, Ricky?
No!
Ricky.
Every year this happens. Actually, you know what? Try every day, and I'm not going to pretend anymore.
Sweetie, it's Thanksgiving.
No!
Ricky, be reasonable.
Which pie do you like better, Stu?
Well, they both had certain qualities.
No, tell me. Tell me which pie you like better.
I'm sorry, I really cannot choose between wonderful and wonderful.
Oh, sure you can. Here, take a bite of this one.
Well, I couldn't be.
No, Stu, go ahead and do it. And take another bite of mine, and tell us what you think.
Ladies. This bourbon sweet potato has an admirable complexity. What with the flecks of vanilla and the tang of the bourbon, it's almost a meal unto itself. Most pies aspire to a harmony of taste, but this pie is simply symphonic, with all the artistry of a true master. Bach, Mozart, Rose Bloom. Delectable, Erica. And Ricky, your apple pie is effortless in its simplicity. It has a wholesomeness that brings to mind a nostalgia for better days and simpler times. There's no nuance here, it's just straightforward and honest. Some might call it plain, but I call it perfect. That's what I like about you, Ricky. What you see is what you get.
So, which one do you like better?
Sounds like it's the first.
It does rather sound like that, doesn't it, Chip?
Ally, huh?
Would anyone like another helping of anything else?
Why, thank you, Erica. I'd take some more potatoes.
And I'd like my first helping of the butter.
I want another helping of justice for all. I'm Super Turkey. Gobble, 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 gobble.
You know what? I'm gonna bounce.
Darling, it's Thanksgiving.
Yes, Ricky, it's Thanksgiving. Everything will be fine.
Right. Everything will be fine, Stuart. Enjoy the 10th level of hell.
Oh, now, Ricky Bear.
Say, Matthias, did you want the butter?
Yes, Chip. How'd you ever figure it out?
Context clues, friend. I'm a master of them.
Is that so?
Yes, sir. Not a lot gets by old Chip. And that's the truth.
Ugh.
Hey, Ricky.
Ollie. What you got there?
Oh, these, they're board games. What you got there?
Oh, it's what you think.
Oh, well, I guess it don't matter none. Anyway, I was
What are you doing here anyway?
I was just cutting through the neighborhood on the way to the Chastines.
Oh, hey. I love Cosmic Encounter.
It's a good game.
It is a good game. We never played any games together, did we?
Nah, well, that's how the cookie crumbles, I guess.
Maybe we can sometime.
Yeah, maybe.
So, headed to the Chastines, huh?
Yuppers?
Tell them I said hi, or something. They doing a game night?
Oh, we've been at it all day partying, you know? And, we were playing charades. But nobody can beat Mr. and Mrs. Chastine at that, especially when it comes to literary figures, so he says to me, Ollie, why don't you go get some games that you like and teach us? So I ran home lickety-split, but I couldn't pick just one, so, anyhow.
Well, cool.
What?
Sounds nice, that's all. Sounds nice.
Well, what are you up to?
Oh, dinner with the fam.
Oh, sounds great.
I love all these games, Ollie. You've got great taste.
I used to think so.
What's that?
Nothing.
Well, have fun.
Yeah, okay.
Wait, is that Clue?
Sure is.
I used to love that game when I was a kid.
Well, sure. Everybody likes solving a mystery.
Maybe. I don't know. Older I get, the more I think maybe there are some things you just don't want to know. Anyway, it's pretty lame.
Yeah, Ricky. Pretty lame. But I always kind of liked it.
Yeah, I did too, actually. Well, I guess I better get back in there.
I guess you better.
It's a little bit of a nightmare in there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, at Rosebloom Thanksgivings, the teeth don't really come out until after dinner.
Well, I'm sorry.
Wish I had an excuse to, not.
Yeah, it's too bad about that. So long, Ricky.
So long.
Hey, Ricky.
Yeah?
Here, why don't you take this?
What, Clue?
Oh, why not? Could be something fun to do with your brother, besides Mrs. Chastine's. Already had to make Mr. Chastine put away his Sherlock Holmes hat like 1,000,000 times. She says she prefers the fireman's hat.
Oh my gosh, those guys are so gross.
Yeah, they're a real pain to be around.
Nothing worse.
Well, happy Thanksgiving, Ricky.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving.
Hello, beautiful.
Leave me alone.
You've had a stressful day.
Try life. And no thanks to you, my ally.
Was your walk therapeutic?
Yeah, almost as much as a nail through the head.
Ricky, back there.
I don't want to talk about it right now.
What's that you got there?
Nothing.
Ricky, is that a board game you got there? One of our favorites, perhaps? Diplomacy? Dead End Drive? Oh, I know what it must be. Risk.
Stop it.
Come on, Ricky. Oh, I see. Maybe the game we should be playing is Sorry.
Are you for real?
Ricky, your mother, she has a way of setting everyone on edge, I'll admit, but there's no need to punish me for that.
Isn't there?
Why don't we leave right now? I can smooth it over.
Yeah, you can smooth anything over, right? That's your specialty.
You're tired. I understand.
Yeah, you're the only one who understands.
Well, aren't I, Ricky? Don't I understand you better than those people? Aren't you tired of phoniness?
Stop telling me how I feel. I don't know how I feel right now.
Okay. Say no more. When will you ever learn, Ricky Bear? When will you ever learn?
Just leave me alone. I'm going for a walk.
I thought you just went on one.
You don't know everything.
You want me to take that game inside?
No. Ugh.
Well, hey there, Ricky. Ricky, now I already told you about them funny cigarettes. Throw that thing away and hop in.
Leave me alone.
Girl, don't make me wrestle you for it. Heard the story about the camel?
Fine.
Get in. Hey, now, is that Clue?
Yep.
That's my favorite game. I'm real good at it, too.
Are you?
Always was when I was a kid.
People change.
Do they? Well, I don't reckon I ever have much. Maybe that's not for the best, though. Sometimes a man gets stuck on the wrong things or in the wrong places, and you don't want to stay stuck, but somehow it just feels easier. I don't know. So what you doing out here anyway?
Trying to get away.
Well, you can't.
Can't I?
Not like you want to. People try all kinds of things, but ain't nobody yet invented a way. Say, where'd that game come from anyway?
Have you ever met this guy I know, Ollie?
Well, shoot, Ricky. Everyone knows Ollie. You'd have to live in a cave not to know him. And even then, I reckon he'd have some job harvesting guano or something. One of the hardest working, honestest fellas I ever met. Not that it's my business, but a girl ought to pay attention to a fella like that, if you ask me.
I'm not arguing with you.
What's that got to do with anything?
Oh, it's his game. He dropped it out here a minute ago.
Well, if he dropped it, I reckon we better take it to him.
But Uncle Chip...
I'm a good tracker, little Ricky, as a certain camel once found. Well, here we are. What you looking like that for?
Nothing.
You know this house?
I used to.
Looks cozy enough.
It is.
Told you I'd track him. Well, have a good time playing your games. I gotta get home and check on old Pink Eye. Get her Thanksgiving dinner. Poor critter's been locked up all day.
Uncle Chip, wait.
Ricky, you listen. There's clues and then there's clues, and I may not have all the clues, but I know enough to know you'd like to be here.
You're wrong. I can't be here.
Well, I ain't taking you anywhere else, so you'll just have to figure it out.
Uncle Chip.
I'm just gonna keep sitting here. You might as well get out.
You can't leave me, Uncle.
I'm coming, Pink Eye!
Ugh. Okay, Ricky, just breathe. It's not like the last time you were here, you didn't basically tell everyone you hated them. What's the worst that could happen? What's the worst that could happen? What's the worst that could happen? Ah, sheesh. Hello? What? No. Stu. No. Baby, you don't have to worry. No, I'm fine. No, I know. No, listen, I forgive you. Of course I forgive you. Yeah, sure, I'm over close to the Chastines. No, I didn't ride my bike, I just, yeah. Okay, I'll see you soon. Yeah, I'll just be out by the road. You'll see me. No, I don't have anything better to do. I'll see you soon. Goodbye. Ricky Bear, when will you ever learn?
The Ville was created by Nathan Alberson, Jacob Menzel, and Ben Sulzer. It was produced by Nathan Alberson and executive produced by Jacob Menzel and Nathan Alberson. To support this work, please go to www.patreon.com/soundofsanity.